Hello, everyone. I hope all is well. Today, I kind of want to go through what's called a beginner's blueprint. It's inside of my Discord for absolutely free. The link's in the bio if you actually want to see the Google Doc. But I had some people actually wanting me to make a video on it, so that's exactly what I'm going to do, is make a video kind of me explaining each and every single one of the steps. Essentially, what the beginner's blueprint is it kind of shows you the exact steps to take to become a profitable trader. So, if you don't want to buy a course or you don't want to pay someone to do it, I laid out this blueprint where you can just follow each individual step to the point where you can literally achieve profitability by just kind of following this list in what to learn, and it's in exact order. Okay, so number one, you got to identify what market you want to trade, right? So think very, very beginner. Think you have no clue anything about stocks, right? This is going to be the very first step, is deciding what type of market you want to trade, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want to trade futures, right? So NQ or, the S&P, whatever it is, if you want to trade that, it makes no sense to start learning about options trading or just randomly looking up videos. What makes sense is to prioritize the basics towards whatever it is that you want to start trading, right? So for example, there's normal stock trading, so it's just shares. There's options trading, which is contracts of specific companies. And then there's Forex traders, which is going to be more of, foreign exchange. Then we have futures trading, which is going to be NASDAQ, S&P 500, all that stuff. So I trade futures, so that's what I would pick. But after you kind of decide that, you want to identify what type of trading style you want to get into or what you would prefer, right? And there's three main ones. Number one being swing trading, that's going to be holding your trades for, days, weeks. There's swing traders out there who will sit there for weeks on end holding a position, right? Then you have scalping, which is holding trades for seconds to the lower end of the minute spectrum. So that's going to be very in and out, probably a lot of trades in a day. Then you have day trading, which is buying and selling within the same trading day, which is exactly what I do. So obviously that's what I would pick. But, those are like the three main things to choose from. So I would recommend day trading or swing trading. Swing trading is obviously a lot more patient type of trading. It takes a lot longer for setups to form. But, day trading, you can really only place like a trade a day if the markets are really good and make quite a bit of money still. Scalping, I feel like you just still need a ton of patience. But since you're just so fast in and out of trades, it's just like very, very fast decision making. I feel like that would spike your cortisol like crazy. But number three, after identifying what trading style you're going to prefer, you got to go over to learning a strategy, right, that aligns with the market and trading style that you choose. So stop trying to learn a strategy for swing trading when you're trying to day trade, right? Those are going to be two completely different things. So when you start to learn a strategy, you got to go from very basics, right? You have to go from, what is a candlestick, to stuff like that, and then work your way up in that specific strategy. What trading view is, all of that stuff. But learning a strategy, this is kind of laid out. I'm not going to show you an exact example because this is going to be a 45-minute long video, but I definitely could in the future post a bunch of videos, about my strategy, exactly how to start, what a candlestick is, stuff like that. But I would honestly need people to recommend that to me rather than me just doing it, because I'm not going to do that in my free time. I'm not going to lie to you. But what I will tell you is that once you learn a strategy, or when you're looking for a strategy, you got to make sure the YouTuber that you're trying to learn from, since I'm assuming you're going the free route, you have to make sure they have pretty much everything on their strategy on their YouTube, right? Because if they don't, and you try to learn different concepts from different people, you're going to get confused and you're going to spin in circles for a very long time. It's probably going to demotivate you and you're probably going to stop, right? You have to learn from one person. It's very, very crucial. You learn from one person, you learn everything that they say, and you listen to everything they say. So that's going to be a really big part, is really learn from one person, okay? But now that this section is to be a little bit more controversial. But when it comes to learning a strategy, you only have a couple of options. So here are the three options that you have. You either, one, learn solely from YouTube. So like I said, you have to stick to one person on YouTube that has all of their shit on YouTube. Okay, so do not expect anything fast at all in this route. It took me years to learn off of YouTube because that's the route I went. And honestly, mentorship game isn't terrible. You just really, if you're going to buy a mentorship, please trust the person you're buying a mentorship from, guys. Like, please. Because at the end of the day, if you don't trust them and you're just buying their shit expecting to make money, that's not how it works. You still have to put the work in. Okay, I want you guys to understand this. The difference between a mentorship that's actually good and one that wants you to think it's good is you see those closers and those setters, right? So like you sign up for a mentorship and then you have someone completely different from the person teaching you, hitting you up, trying to close you. It's because they're trying to not really manipulate you, but they're using psychology strategies to make you think that this is going to be the right move for you, right? So for me, anytime anyone wants a mentorship, I talk to them one-on-one, bro, and I'm honest with them, right? Because not everybody's going to be fit for a mentorship. Not everybody is going to really learn from a mentorship or even, actually improve off of it. So you got to be really picky of, number one, who you trust if you're going to go the mentorship route. But overall, YouTube, expect it to be years. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there because YouTube is just a spinning cycle. But if you stick to one person, they have everything on YouTube, it'll probably take faster. But like I said, the whole point of a mentorship is it speeds up it speeds it up, your process. But at the end of the day, if you do not learn from that person and you don't actually take the information from them, then you don't actually try to learn, then it's never going to happen. You still have to give the fourth effort to learn and to study and to do shit on your own. But the mentor is there to put you in the footsteps in the right direction, making you achieve profitability faster, right? So that is the main difference. So would you rather pay for that, or would you rather go the free route and take years and then learn from your own mistakes? And at the end of the day, right, going the YouTube route, you're going to end up paying in your losses. Going the mentorship route, you're probably not going to pay as much in losses, but you're going to pay for the mentorship, right? So it's pros and cons of both. It kind of depends. Do you prioritize your speed of learning, or do you prioritize just doing it solely for free and you don't have the money for that? Because if you don't have the money for that, honestly, just stay away from trading, or just get a job and build up that capital before you really get into it, to be completely honest with you. But obviously, step number 2 is going to be you can buy a mentorship from someone you trust, right? This is going to be the fastest way to learn a winning strategy and become profitable. And the third way is a course. Okay, so you have to pick and choose with this because most courses are like $2,000, which is completely outrageous. It's like YouTube, but everything's in front of your face. Courses should literally be like $50 a month, right? They should not be $2,000. You should be able to buy a course for $50 a month, and then when you're done, just unsubscribe, right? No course should be $2,000. It's way too much money for no reason. You guys are giving your money to people that don't even give a fuck or aren't even trying to help you, right? Because a pre-made course takes 2 seconds, or literally the longest thing that it actually takes to make is just recording the videos. Outside of that, they don't do anything, right? So stop giving way too much money out for a course, right? Just because someone's famous. But courses do make it so that all the information that you need is right in front of you and you can learn it on your own free time. Okay. And if you want to go that route with the courses, the mentorship, of course I'm going to say this because I'm biased, but I do have a paid section inside of the Discord. Okay. And before you say some bullshit, what I'm going to tell you is we have been free for so long and we still prioritize our free section. Okay. We still make it so that the free section, you could fully learn how to trade with just our free shit, right? But if you really want, that course and mentorship experience, I mean, it's literally $60 a month, right? And it's full one-on-one mentorship. You get access to the course and you get signals every time I place a trade. So you do not have to be actively sitting in live trading. If you are busy or whatever, I will alert the Discord every time I'm in a trade and give you all my levels, etc. Right? So those 3 things for $60 a month is definitely the lowest in the industry. I mean, people charge $70 just for live trading. I don't charge shit for live trading. Anyone can hop in live trade and or not live trade, but watch me live trade, right? Anybody could do that for absolute free. A lot of the stuff in the Discord's free. The main reason why, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about it, this is the main reason why I have a paid section is because for the stuff that I have to really work my ass off for is the shit that I make paid, right? So like a live trading, I don't have to make any extra effort. I just clicked go live, right? No one gives a fuck. So, I'm very, very picky. I really, really want to help people as much as possible. That's why live trading, trade breakdowns are always going to be free. But that's besides the point. That is only if you want to go that route. Otherwise, you can still learn a ton for free in my Discord, link in bio. But that's besides the point. Step 4. After you learn your strategy, you want to go into back testing your demo accounts. So after learning a strategy you feel comfortable with, simply go back on the charts, practice your strategy and past data, and then you can also open a fake or demo account to practice your strategy in real time. You want to also forward test it. So that's just pretending to place trades while markets currently moving, get kind of the flow of how the market moves. The sole purpose of this is to make sure you have a winning strategy and help build your confidence and remove hesitation. Okay, you don't want to be stuck on this stage for too long, because if you're stuck on it for too long, when you get to real markets, you're going to realize that psychology is a big issue in trading, and demo trading or back testing doesn't affect your mental at all. So you just kind of want to use back testing and demo trading solely to make sure your strategy has a winning win rate, right? It's a winning strategy. Now, after that, you're just placing your first real trade, right? So whether it's a funded account, whether it's a live account, I would definitely recommend funded accounts first. But that's a different topic for a different time. But now that you know your strategy and you feel comfortable with it, open an account with real money or a funded account, right? For whatever industry you're in, futures, Forex, or whatever. By the way, funded accounts are usually for futures and Forex. Just keep that in mind. But you start placing trades. So you want to figure out how much money you actually feel comfortable with losing. And that's the amount you should be risking per trade. So for example, 0.5% to 1% of your total account balance per trade is usually a good base to go off of, right? And then after that, journal. I always preach journaling. Journaling is so important. Okay, you want to, when you are placing trades, it's very important to journal every single trade. Stop lying to yourself. Wake the fuck up. We're day trading. Okay, you have to be able to understand what your mistakes are, and the only reason to understand what your mistakes are journaling, right? Once you learning is the easy part, bro. The hard part is being consistently journaling, doing the boring shit, like getting your data. But you have to do it. You have to. There's no, oh, but I don't feel like doing it. No, you have to do it. I don't care if you're sick. If you took a trade, you're journaling. Okay? Because that is how you're going to improve. Because when you learn, you feel like improvement's going like this. And then once you start trading, you feel like improvement's just like this. It's because you're not journaling. As you journal and you go back and you look at your trades once a week, once a month, the entire journal once a year, right? And you go back and you see the improvement you've had from trade to trade. You just see how much improvement you're actually making. Without that, you're trading blindly. Guys, the boring work in trading is very fucking important. So do it and build that habit off strong with your first trade. Start journaling. Okay, now number 7 is going to be getting into emotions. So people are going to expect to be on the higher list, or people are expecting this to be higher on the list, sorry. But I have it here because you're not going to work on emotions without experiencing what day trading emotions truly feels like. This is one of the most important things you must master, and you must if you actually want to make it, right? So what helped me was to only place one trade a day max, right? When I was starting, only one trade a day. And if you struggle with exiting the market for no reason, then once you place a trade, close your desktop or your MacBook or your laptop, whatever, and walk the fuck away and come back when it hits your take profit or stop loss and see what you did wrong or see what you did right. Okay, because you cannot be struggling with taking out too early and second guessing yourself. You have to build it. And the way to build good habits in the market is to just do what makes the most sense. So you place a trade a day maximum. So that means, okay, I only have one trade today. Let's make it the best possible trade. And if you're sitting there like hesitant or whatever it is when you're in the trade and you're jumping up and down, just close it and walk away. Because within time, you're going to be able to just stare at the market after that and not have any confidence issue about pulling out too early. Okay, so it's going to be a very big one. Just do what makes the most sense. One trade a day. As you get more comfortable, as you don't feel as much emotions, you can go to like 2 or 3 trades a day max. Like right now, I really only take 3 trades a day. Absolute max. It's very rare I take 3 trades a day because I've been building that habit for a long time. Okay. Now, number 8 is going to be becoming a better person overall. Okay. So this is another thing that you have to understand that you actually need to work on. Look at yourself in the mirror. Right? See who you truly are. What are you doing this for? What are you trading for? What do you want to learn for? Become better for yourself and become better at the skill. Not becoming a better person or trying to find yourself will leave you lost, not just in trading, but also in life. You have to understand who you are as a person. Like, what are you trading for, man? Like, if you really need this money, like, oh my God, I need this money so bad, like I can't lose this money. Stay away from trading, please. You're going to go bankrupt. Okay? I'm not sitting here telling you that you're not only trading because of the money. Everyone trades because of the money. If there was no money involved, no one would be doing it. And that's a fact. Obviously, it's because of money. But if you have this money in your fucking head, that's when you get screwed. Okay? Understand this. You don't overtrade. You don't revenge trade. you use proper risk management, and you stick to your rules, and you do those 4 things. Every single trade, you ask yourself those 4 things. Are you doing any of those? Okay, and you ask yourself those 4 things before every single trade. And if the answer is good on all 4 of them, then you place the trade, right? And it's a good trade. Who cares if it's a win or loss? It happens, right? You're going to take losses. A winning strategy takes losses. There's no 100% win rate. That's impossible. Okay, so every fucking strategy has losses. So you have to understand that. You ask yourself those 4 things. Because guess what? If you can master those 4 things in the markets when you're actually trading, if I could say, I promise you will become a millionaire from this, and you just master those 4 things, why the fuck would you want to break any of those things, right? Because what did I say? Everyone trades for money, right? So if you're in it for money, then just follow those 4 things and the compound will slowly start compounding, right? The minute you break any of those 4 things, everything resets. You go back to ground zero, okay? So you got to stick to those 4 things like it's the goddamn Bible, guys, okay? That's what you have to do. Because at the end of the day, like I said, everyone's in it for money. But you can't make money your only fucking reason. Because once you do that, you get screwed. When you're like, oh my God, I just lost this amount of money. I'm fucked. Then you start revenge trading. And then you start doing this. And then you start doing that. Just focus on those 4 things. Proper risk management. Stop getting pissed after every loss. Stop being way too happy after every single win. All you should care about is your strategy working? Let me tell you this. If you become good at this skill and you become as best as you possibly can at the skill, you will get paid. You will take the skill way more seriously. You will actually be trying to get good at the skill. And I can promise you, the better you are at the skill, the more money you make, the more the more compounding your money does. So stick to those 4 things. Please write those down. Stick to them. Every single time you place a trade, ask yourself those 4 things. And if you're revenge trading, placing 20 trades over risking, then number 1, either de-risk, or number 2, just don't even place a trade at all because you're already breaking rules. You can't be breaking rules out here. You have to be as following rules as possible. Now, if you take a loss and you're following your strategy, you're following your rules, good. That's a good fucking thing. Who cares if it's a loss? You're following your rules. You know within your back tested data that you have a 70, 75, 80% win rate, whatever it is with base hits, then who cares if it's a loss, right? It happens. You followed your strategy. Your strategy is playing out. Losses happen in order to balance your strategy correctly on how it was built. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, number 9 is going to be revising what you are doing wrong. So after you place some trades, go back into your journal, see what you're doing wrong, the losses, the wins. Don't assume it is a strategy problem. 99% of the time, it isn't. It's just you, okay? So many people like to blame the strategy. But if you go in your journal and you're placing bad trades, you're jumping the gun, or you're not seeing specific things, that's a you problem. That's not your strategy. That's fucking you. The only time it's really your strategy that's really the issue is if you are journaling and you're seeing that you're placing really good trades and you have like a 20% win rate, then maybe your strategy's down the shit, or maybe your strategy's not that good. You got to fix some shit up, right? It's how you get better at the skill, dude. Backtesting, seeing market data, seeing how the market moves, getting that market experience. It'll just come to you, okay? It feels like gibberish right now, but it will come to you. Trust me. Just put that work in. Now, these are going to be the most common issues that I see people dealing with the most. So this is going to be very important for you guys to know and to try to better yourselves with this. Number 1, emotions. Number 2, entering too early. Number 3, misanalyzing, missing things in the charts. Number 4 is hesitating. Before you enter a trade, you're hesitating. You don't want to click the buy button or the sell button. Bro, come on. You can't be hesitating. If it's a backtested trade and you ask yourself, this is a trade I would take backtesting, stop hesitating. Just take the trade. Because that means it's going with your rules, right? So who cares if it's a win or loss? And number 5 is not being honest, lying to yourself to make yourself feel better. Okay? Stop lying to yourself, please. It's not going to do you any fucking good. Especially in your journals, man. Why are you guys lying to yourselves on your journals? Oh, this was a really good trade, just didn't play out. And then it was like clearly like a really bad trade that you took. It's like, you got to be honest. If you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to be successful. Start right now with being honest with yourself. Who are you? Okay? And start being honest with yourself. Because no one likes someone who lies, let alone lies to themselves. You can't even trust yourself at that point. But last but not least is obviously profitability. Okay? It all seems simple, but it's definitely a journey. With consistency, discipline, and never giving up, it will definitely push you towards your goals. Okay? And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. If you want me to elaborate anything, leave them in the comments. But yeah, I'm here to answer, guys. I just kind of wanted to go through the beginner's blueprint inside of my Discord, kind of break it down in words for you guys as well, because I know some of you guys like videos rather than sitting there reading and kind of being misinterpreted. So that's the exact steps that you have to take going in, to YouTube, going into whatever it is that you want to learn from. Those are the steps you should be taking if you want to reach profitability fast. This is genuinely something that I struggled with, so I made this Google Doc with mainly the main purpose was just this is what I used to struggle with, and if I can lay it out for people, they're going to be way more ahead than I was, right? I've been trading for 4 years. I've struggled a lot, and those were the main things on that list that I was struggling with, and I did not have a direction. I just gave you the direction. Go get it.